From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Prime Minister Mark Carney is calling Israel's invasion of Lebanon illegal. Carney's also calling for a ceasefire as the armed conflict worsens and Israeli ground troops move deeper into Lebanon. Israel's used attacks by the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah to justify the invasion. But Carney points to Lebanon banning Hezbollah and trying to snuff out the group's terrorist activities. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister insists he has not been considering proroguing Parliament. A newspaper report said the Liberals are considering the move once they secure a majority of seats in the House of Commons.
Absolutely not. It has never even entered my thinking, the possibility of that. So I couldn't have been more surprised to see a suggestion that that was under consideration.
A set of by-elections in 2 weeks could grant the Liberals a majority government and the ability to reset Parliament to give Carney greater control over the agenda and easily push through government legislation. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen is set to make history tomorrow on board NASA's Artemis II mission. Fellow Canadian astronaut Joshua Kutrick says Canada's involvement in the historic 10-day lunar fly-around is a result of Canadian investment, innovation, expertise, and collaboration.
He'd want us to think of this not as a final achievement for Canada, but as something that will hopefully just be the starting point of a whole new adventure to come in the future.
Kutrick's not part of the mission, but is observing from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. Former Canadian politician and social activist Stephen Lewis has died at the age of 88. He was Canada's ambassador to the United Nations for 4 years. He also led Ontario's NDP. Lewis co-launched the Stephen Lewis Foundation to help fight AIDS on the ground in Africa. His son, Avi Lewis, was just elected leader of the federal NDP. Just for Laughs founder Gilbert Rozon has been ordered to pay a total of more than $880,000 to 8 of the 9 women who accused him of sexual assault and misconduct. Lawyer Bruce Johnston says the civil judgment validates his client's stories.
In her judgment, Justice Tremblay concluded that Gilbert Rozon is not only a liar, but a sexual predator.
Rozon says he'll analyze the judgment before deciding whether to appeal. A video making the rounds on social media of a woman who received medical assistance in dying is not government advertising. The false and misleading claims have received thousands of likes, but the video is actually from a 2022 ad campaign by Quebec-based department store chain Simons. At the time, the company's then president said the video's creators wanted to show the beauty in life's difficult moments and celebrate the woman's life, rather than tell a story about her death. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the head of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment says whoever takes the leadership of the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey operations will need to take a data-centric approach. President and CEO Keith Pelly spoke with reporters a day after firing General Manager Brad Treliving.
Every single decision that we will make will be evidence-based. Evidence-based decisions are never wrong, right? That's not to say that there's not room for the heart. That doesn't mean there's not room to check culture, but it's evidence-based.
Pelly points to division rivals Montreal and Buffalo as moving in the right direction while the Leafs struggle. The Montreal Canadiens are looking for their 5th win in a row tonight when they visit the Tampa Bay Lightning. Habs enter the contest in 3rd place in the Atlantic Division. Also tonight, Ottawa visits Florida, Winnipeg visits Chicago, and Edmonton welcomes Seattle. In baseball action, the Toronto Blue Jays are looking to bounce back from their first loss of the season tonight when they host the Colorado Rockies. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.